Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30.
I can't hear the video. I can't hear the video.
We begin with President Bola Tinubu's meeting with His Majesty King Charles III at Buckingham Palace for a private discussion during the week. It was warmly received in London, making it the first meeting of the two leaders since they met in Dubai at the COP28 Climate Summit last year.
The latest meeting was at a king's request, highlighting the enduring and cherished relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Now, both leaders discussed global and regional matters of shared priority, focusing on the urgent and complex challenge of climate change.
President Tinubu and His Majesty also explored opportunities for collaboration in anticipation for upcoming COP29 summit in Azerbaijan and the Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting in Samoa. President Tinubu reiterated Nigeria's firm commitment to addressing the climate change in a matter that aligns with the country's energy security objectives, while affirming Nigeria's readiness to adopt global strategies for sustainability.
Now, during the meeting, the two leaders shared ideas for innovative approaches to climate financing and funding, expressing mutual interest in strengthening partnerships by harnessing Nigeria's leadership position in Africa and the Commonwealth.
With the likelihood of a second debate in the toll abortions, rights, migration, the Israel-Hamas war, the U.S. economy, and the other salient issues from the high point during the first debate between former U.S. President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris in a fiery 90-minute U.S. presidential debate in Philadelphia. And Vice President Kamala Harris and her Republican rival Donald Trump faced off for the first time ahead of the 2024 U.S. presidential elections.
Now, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris locked horns over a range of issues, including abortion policies, immigration, U.S. inflation, the Israel-Hamas war, the Russia-Ukraine war, the state of the U.S. economy post-pandemic, and so on. The debate, which started with a handshake, sparked intense exchanges, starting with policy discussions, but quickly dwelling into sharp personal attacks. The two also exchanged views on key issues like immigration and the economy. So this will almost form a big part of...
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail.
All right, of course, these are some of the things that we'll be talking about on Live from Abuja. But first, of course, it's a very good thing that the President and King Charles III had a meeting. And, of course, it was basically about climate change and, of course, how Nigeria can benefit, how the relationship can further be strengthened, and most especially when it has to do with energy. You know, so I think for Nigeria and UK, United Kingdom, it's a relationship that's been there. But of course, in this time of global meltdown, a lot of things are happening, and of course, leaders are exchanging ideas on how to better their country. What do you think? Well,
of course, definitely, Nigeria is, one country that when you come to Africa, amongst the League of Nations, it's one of the countries that is very important because of our place in the world, so to say, our population. So those are the kind of things that actually help us. So it made sense, you know, that it was on the behest of the king that this meeting happened. And then it also has to do with the climate change, because you really cannot leave anyone behind. And so a partnership with the United Kingdom also would help us in a long way to define the structures, the strategies which we are going to be approaching or achieving whatever victory that we intend to achieve with energy security, so to say. And of course, presently we're going through a whole lot of issues with the global warming, with the the climate change issue, the rainfalls, the unpredictable rainfalls, so to say, its effects even on our agriculture and a whole lot of things. So basically, it's also a discussion that is, even though it's on the behest of the king, but it's also very important to us as a people, you know, that we continuously have these engagements on how to intentionally start tackling these issues.
Yeah, no, it's very important that those things are actually being tackled. But let's also look at another issue, of course, that we are going to be looking at in this particular program, which is, of course, the U.S. debate. It was a talk of the town, you know. I was almost on heavy news media outlets around the world. You look at former U.S. President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. A whole lot of issues we talked about: economy, immigration. You look at education and all of those things. And I think that for a large extent, I think what President Donald Trump and of course Kamala Harris, for example, you look at what their take on the issue in Hamas Gaza war. You look at their issue on the Ukraine war. You look at the issues on immigration, and that's just to show you how these things are very important to the world at large. For example, you look at what President Donald Trump was talking about.
But then, so you would also understand that when it comes to these discussions, these issues, in as much as Kamala Harris would try to present herself as, I am a candidate of my own, you should also understand that her party is in power. So she is not so much going to throw President Joe Biden under the bus by saying that his policies are wrong. So she's going to be very smart about how to come out with, okay, you know, we will try to do things differently without without categorically saying that the present administration is very wrong, because she's also part of the present administration.
Yes, I know one of those things that actually caught my eyes was the issue of tax and tariffs. You know, one is saying there's going to be a cut of taxes. One is the others. I think Vice President Kamala Harris is talking about cutting of taxes. Majorly for the middle class. You look at what President Donald Trump is saying, you know, raising the tariff from 10% to 20%, and that's a whole lot. And the question back on how do the American people, you know, benefit from all of this? It's a whole lot of questions to be asked, most especially when it has to do with immigration. You know, don't forget President Donald Trump talked about building a wall, the Mexican wall. You remember?
Yeah, everyone knows that he has this very strict policies when it comes to immigration, and he majorly believes that you know, America should be for the Americans, and he feels like a lot of people are coming into America to take over America from the Americans, whatever that means, according to him. But